We welcome you to the 4th grade Phoenix Team Flipped Open House. In this video, you will get a preview of what your child has been doing, some ideas of our rules and procedures, and an overview of the school year. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your extraordinarily busy schedule with all the kids and dinners and everything else to learn about what your child is doing at school. Grades and grading. Students are grading according to scales. Each teacher has students put the scales or the rubrics for projects in the students' binders. Please give a look at these. A 3 is considered to be mastering the standards and would earn a B or C depending on the level of mastery. Going beyond the standard and applying the concept to real-world situations goes above and beyond and earns an A. Students are encouraged and provided with motivation to go above just the ordinary expectations every day. The first day of school, each class talked about what it would look like to be respectful, to be responsible, to be polite, and be safe in many different school environments. Students expect themselves and their peers to now meet these expectations. If they do not, they earn a mark in their planner. In the letter you received the first week of school, we spelled out consequences. Students need 3 marks to earn the loss of a fun activity. They really want to earn clubs each Friday. Study hall is the loss of clubs and allows students time to reflect on how to earn clubs the following week. It is a very strong motivation for students. Weekly homework. Students do have homework each evening. We have tried very hard to narrow down our expectations here to allow students time to be kids. Students should read about 100 pages per week. Studies have shown how important it is to put actual reading into the classroom, so students schedule at least 20 minutes or more to do just that. We expect students to also read at home. Nothing makes us happier to hear that students read before bed to settle down. It's a perfect time and then doesn't feel like actual homework. Students also have an assignment for math each evening. Usually it will be a video previewing what will be learned in class the following day in math. This flipped classroom allows students to get that quick view of what is coming, gives them a chance to process the information, and allows each student to have an individualized plan the following day. For example, if your child already understands angles and how to measure them, he or she will be completing an extension activity, maybe drawing a building with a set number of different types of angles and applying this skill to a real-world type setting. If your child has never used a protractor, then he or she will work in a small group to get a hands-on experience. We have found the flipped classroom really helps differentiate classroom instruction to find out what kids need and to give them the instruction that best supports the individual student. Finally, you will see that students may have some homework that goes along with projects during language arts. Last year, we found it very helpful and useful to divide up some learning, so when students were completing their final task for the unit, they had lots of background knowledge, information, and bits and pieces to help put together the actual project in class. Your teacher will notify you of any homework that may be assigned weekly to help your family plan for this. Again, these assignments should not take more than 20 minutes to complete for the week, so that kids have time to spend with their family and friends after a busy day at school. Please also note that student planners should be signed Thursday night. Thursday is a busy night for you. No worries. Go ahead and sign it at any point in time during the week, but you should review it on Thursday just so you can get a picture of how they did that week. This screen really shows the importance of reading. If a child reads for 1 minute, they earn 8,000 words added to their vocabulary in a school year. If they read for 5 minutes, we see 282,000, which sounds great. But look at what happens with 20 minutes of reading. With 20 minutes each day, They read over 1,800,000 words. And there's nothing that builds the skill of reading than actual reading. If you would like your child to bring in a Kindle, Nook, or an iPad, or any other reader, all you need to do is fill in the technology device release form, which you can find in the classroom or on our Sandpine homepage. We use the devices all day, so please send it in with your child. Independent reading goals. Each student has already set his or her reading goal. Every fourth grader, with some exceptions, is expected to earn 12 points for quarter one. We have provided some incentives to help them on their way to becoming readers at heart. For the first grading quarter, students will earn an hour of free play with their 12 points, and will earn extra fun incentives for going beyond just the minimum. These incentives are built into each quarter, and students get really excited to read, which is just what we want. The math curriculum. We know that the math curriculum looks so much different than what you're used to. The changes are really focused on helping students find strategies to help them understand mathematical operations. This is a very important piece. Teaching your child how I did it is not wrong. Your child is going to look at you with sad eyes and say, "That's not the way Miss Sheridan or Miss Welt did it." It's okay, and your answer is going to be, "They're right. This is my strategy." Because we're going to be learning lots of ways to solve math problems. It's very beneficial for your child to try to use every alternative strategy before they just hone in on one. Because our main goal is for them to look at a different or difficult problem and think, there's more than one way to solve this. I can try many times to understand and solve it. And this really does go beyond math. We want our children to become lifelong learners and lifelong problem solvers. Imagine a world where there was only one solution to every problem. What works for one person doesn't work for another, and by having your child think of many different strategies can be applied to any situation. Here's a parent's favorite slide. It's STEM Fair. And we do realize that it was very difficult last year. We're trying very hard to set it up different this year. Students are going to be completing several pieces of their project, and this is the part you'll be excited about here at school. Small pieces will be sent home along the way in order for students to be prepared for the in-class work. So for example, your child will be brainstorming problems and brainstorming projects in class. They'll go home with their idea. We're looking basic things. Once their idea is okayed in class, then it will be completed at home. But most of the paperwork will be completed at school. So again, the actual experiment will be done at home, and the backboard will be completed at home, but most of the actual project log will be completed at school. There are some electronic resources that are available to you. When you come in to our open house, you're going to get to experience several of these. We'll have the math and science textbook ready for you to see online. Of course, we'll always be going to Canvas. We also want to make sure that you know how to find the Student Social Studies textbook. There are some great apps for your own device. We had these available on Meet the Teacher Day, but you're certainly welcome to pick up another flyer when you come in for open house so that you can be sure that your child's device is locked, loaded, and ready to go. So we are very excited to see you on Thursday at 6 p.m. You got a preview of what we're going to be going over. We are having a whole group meeting, just like we would in class, and it begins promptly at 6:05. So try to be here on time, find a spot, and be ready to learn all about being a Phoenix fourth grader. And we are looking forward to a wonderful year.